Boy, this is going to be fun. I don't know. Hopefully you all can hear. I am, I am in the cat room, y'all. And I have a little visitor. I think I'm a little bit early, so I don't even know if I'll have anyone here today, but I tweeted and everything out in advance this time, so it's not all impromptu. Here in just a second, I am going to see if I can flip the screen. Hi, Susan's Creative. How are you, Ladybug? I have a little kitten in here that is about ready to climb my leg. So if you hear me make any kind of crazy noises, it's probably because I've got a cat fixing to climb my leg. um, yes, I think I interrupted his nap time, so he might not be as wild and crazy as he has been the last 2 days, but his name is Willy. Finally came up with the name for him. His original name from the Humane Society was Pedro, but he didn't look like a Pedro to us, so I've been trying to come up with a name, and he's an orange tabby. So I had all sorts of names like Colby after the cheese, Cheeto, Nacho. I mean, everything was food related though, pretty much. Nugget, but then I thought, well, Nugget is actually food related too. So I decided upon Willy after Willie Nelson. So he's a redheaded musician. Thank you. You all are probably very familiar with who Willie Nelson is, but it's his eyes. For some reason, his eyes remind me of Willie Nelson. So without further ado, yes, well, he's literally always on the go. So I thought that was kind of relatable there because he is on the road again, although he's not on the road. He's on the road here in the house or on your leg. So I'm going to flip the camera over now and we'll see if anybody else joins us. Susan, if you have any questions for me, give me a holler and hopefully I'll be able to read them. I have my glasses on, so we shall see. But overlook the mess of a cat room here. Where are you, little dude? There he is. Hi. Hello. Say hello, Susan. He's wanting to play with this cord. Whew. Oh my goodness, I can't keep up with him. Oh. Here, come up here on the climber. Let's get up here. Where'd he go? Here he is. There he is. Say hi. Hi there. My name is Willy. I'm just 10 weeks old. Oh, socks. Hey, that's a good idea, Susan. I'll have to think it. I'll have to do that. See, he likes to climb up your legs. He's such a crazy kitty. He's such a crazy kitty. Yes, he is. Also, I'm sorry. It might be cutting the stream off. So we are in the cat room, which is it's one of the rooms in the house that we have not finished yet. So there's not really any paint happening on the walls. We've got a mess in here. But it's worked out good since we've moved here to Texas because it's a very small room. I think this is supposed to actually be like I don't know, like a maid's room or something. Oh, sure. Yeah, Susan, I would be. I don't know how interesting I'll be though. So if you're ready for a boring guest, I sure will do it. Maybe I can get Willy to talk to us. Hello, Willy. I don't think Willy's interested in doing much talking. Whoops. Oh no. Hi. There he goes. Yeah, my jewelry making, I've got a little bit more of an interesting discussion point there, a talking point, I guess, because I can talk forever about my sparkly beads. Or cats, so whatever topic that you would like. But yeah, I'd be happy to do that. So, yes, this place is a mess, but it works. It works out when you're trying to house a brand new kitten. Oh, okay. Yeah, message me. I'll be here, girl. So, he's not supposed to be eating big boy cat food, but look. He bypasses the little kitten kibble that the Humane Society gave us a bag of that science diet, which is the big expensive cat food, but it's for kittens. He's not eating that. He's eating the cheaper cat food that are for the big girls. So I've got to try to get in there and make him some stuff because I don't really want him eating that. Isn't that right? You don't want him eating that. He's got to eat good stuff. Yeah, on a raw diet. Yeah, I saw that video, Susan. Whoops. Watch out now. Watch out. Where are you at? You're being crazy. Come on. I saw the recipe up there, and I mean, we don't have a food processor or anything, so we'll have to figure a way to do that, but I want to try to get him started right, because he's just a little feller. They said at the Humane Society that he had lost a whole lot of weight initially when he was brought to the Humane Society. So they weren't sure that he was going to make it, and he was in a quarantine with, I think there was about 7 other little kittens. Oh. But the other kittens they were all quarantined, and they're all kept separately and everything, but they were waiting for the vet to come. Oh, woo, that's a good incentive because he has some stinky poop, Susan. He's got some really stinky poop. But anyway, yeah, they had him quarantined with 7 other little kittens, or 6 other little kittens, I'm sorry. And finally, the vet showed up out there and released them all from quarantine and said that since he had gained weight, that he was good to go. And then we were able to adopt him. So we've only had him now. This is day 2. And finally picked his name, Willy. Like Willie Nelson. So he's met Simone, let's see, 3 times now. And he's met String Bean, I believe 4 times. So they're not really hanging out because he's so tiny. He's a tiny boy, aren't you? You're a tiny boy. Yes, you are. Oh, he wants to bite and wrestle. Oh, he'll probably start climbing here in a minute. But they, Simona, actually, she's the one that's been howling at night. You can also do the raw, yes, and freeze it. And that's another thing I noticed you talked about in your video, Susan, and that's another reason why I thought I might try it. We just need to figure out the food processor. But anyway, he has actually done very well. He doesn't seem to be scared of the 2 girls. Whenever I have taken him to go see Simone and String Bean, the very first night that he was here, he was in this big, it's actually a dog kennel cage, I guess. We have his litter box and everything set up in there. So he was squared away, locked up in this. And String Bean, I was going to try to get her to go into the garage because that's right next door to us. But she flew in here in this room. And when she realized that there was a dude in here, whoops, oh no! When she realized there was a kitty cat in here, she hissed and got up on her climber, which is this one right here in the corner. And there she stayed and watched him down here for about an hour. And she didn't care for him too much. She's a little standoffish. She's not as bad as her mama. But come on over here, Willie. Come on. Come on. Let's come. Let's come over here and play. Where'd you go? Come on. Like, I don't know. But anyway, with String Bean, she was only in here for about 45 minutes. And then she decided she wanted back out. And it was late. It was about midnight, I think. So that night, and then again last night, String Bean has just stayed outside with her mother, and that is Simone. Now, Simone is the one that was howling ever since we lost Blinky in March. And really, she went big time into howling very loudly, usually around 2 o'clock in the morning on up until about 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning. So she's been keeping me awake for the last, well, ever since we've been back from Tennessee. So Simone, actually now, since having seen this little feller, little Willy here, hello there, Willy. Since having seen him now twice, no, actually 3 times, she has stopped that. So she came up to him last night and sniffed his nose. She did not hiss at him. She actually hisses at me. She's the one that was a feral cat in Arizona, and we caught her and got her spayed, but we didn't get her in time for her not to have the first litter of kittens. So that's how String Bean came into being. But she fell in love with Blinky, and really, you know, the only time you heard from her is when Blinky wasn't paying attention to her. So now that he's been gone since March, I think she's just been lonely because String Bean doesn't really play. And Simone used to love to play with Blinky a lot because he was really active with her, which is odd because, you know, you'd think the mother cat would be docile and the baby cat, which, I mean, String Bean's like 8 years old now, but you would think that she would be the more active, but it's vice versa. So what I'm hoping, based on what I'm seeing so far, is that Simone will take a liking here to Willy, and when he gets a little bit bigger, I'm going to let him go outside and try to play with Simone. And hopefully that will work out. Oh, okay, Susan. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm just going to be hanging out here talking and playing with Willy. So he stays really active for a big part of the day, and then kind of winds down. Like right now, I just woke him up during a nap, so he didn't get his proper beauty sleep. Oh, that's okay, Susan. Thank you so much for stopping in here while you're at work. Oh my goodness, I really appreciate that. It looks like I've got 4 other people here, but they're not saying anything, so I don't know who you are, but thank you as well. But yeah, I'm hoping this little feller, he's gonna get along, at least be tolerated by String Bean. She's the one that has hissed at him so far. Well, I won't tell, Susan. I won't tell on you. I'm hoping that String Bean will eventually at least just tolerate him. The biggest concern is with Simone, because we can't have her keeping the whole neighborhood awake every night. I think we're coming up on now the 3rd week since we took that road trip home to Tennessee, and she's just been keeping everybody awake. And my husband, he has to work, so he has an air machine that he's been turning on at night so that he doesn't hear Simone as bad when she really gets ramped up. And I go out there and I try to pet on her, but from where she was a feral cat, she's not the most friendly. So I can barely get close enough to pet her when she's at her worst. She doesn't bite or anything, but she's not overly affectionate. And String Bean, her daughter, is also not very affectionate. With my husband in particular, but now with me, because I had to bottle feed String Bean. She was the runt of the litter when Simone had her. We didn't think she was going to make it. So I had to bottle feed her, and she was used to me handling her a lot. So String Bean will actually occasionally come to sit on my lap before she goes outside for the day. But that's about as much as you're going to get out of String Bean. So little Willy here, hopefully he's going to be cool for Simone. Tolerated by String Bean, but our experience with cats has been mostly all boys until we had Simone and String Bean. And so every boy cat Well, two things. Every boy cat has been orange and white, and they have all been very affectionate cats. We've had the vets even tell us that boys are more affectionate than girls, just due to the nature of girls having kittens and all of that stuff. And even if they've not had kittens, missed the other one. Yeah, I hope so too, Susan. That's what that's what we're hoping. But anyway, girls are traditionally not as friendly. Now, having said that, my cousin in Amarillo just adopted a female cat who is very affectionate. She's a blue Russian cat. Very affectionate cat. So go figure. But now Simone, the reason for her not being affectionate is because she was so feral and skittish. And even still to this day, now we've had her for 10 years, or I think we're coming up on 10 years with her. And she still hisses occasionally. She won't let us pet her. She definitely won't let my husband pet her. But I can pet her sometimes if she's really hot, really tired, or she's starving, she's wanting to be fed. And then String Bean, of course, is the one I said she'll sometimes get up on my lap. But, she only hangs out there for about 10-15 minutes and she's ready to go outside. So she's not overly affectionate either. So we'll see here, Mr. Willie. We'll see here. You're very affectionate, though. Willie likes to get up on my husband and myself and give us kisses. That's something that we missed with Blinky, because Blinky would get up on my husband and crawl up on his chest to go to sleep, and he would give him kisses. So it looks like Willie's going to be a kissy. He's going to be a kissy cat. Whoops. Oh, my goodness. I think I'm coming up here on 20 minutes. It doesn't look like the other people who are here are wanting to talk. So I guess they're just kitten watching, and that's okay. I'm sorry it's such a mess in here, but man, we weren't really expecting a kitty cat, and then boom, here we go. Where did you go, buddy? Where are you? Uh-oh, potty break. It's time for a potty break. We won't film him while we're talking potty here. Let me flip it back. All right. Woo! Boy, I'm going to have to get the air conditioning working over here in this room. It's a little bit on the warm side. It is, let's see, today in El Paso, Texas, it is 105 degrees. Oh, okay, bye, Susan. Thank you so much again for stopping by. I really appreciate that. And give me a holler. Yeah, thank you. You too. Today in El Paso, it's going to be 105 degrees. And I'm not looking forward to that. Of course, I primarily stay inside, especially right now because I'm babysitting or cat sitting, as one would say. But it has been so hot. And the last time that I tried to do a live stream outside, my phone overheated and shut down. So I'm not going to chance that again because I think it was a combination of possibly the battery. I'm going to adjust this here. There we go. I think it was a combination of the battery being kind of low, but then also the heat outside. Oh, here he is. He's back. Let's flip him over. There he is. Hi, Willie. Hello, dear baby doll. Oh, you gonna get me? Are you gonna get me? Yeah, you gonna get me. Let's get your toy so you can get your toy. Oh, there you go. There you go. Get your toy. All right, he's much cuter to look at. Oh, where are you going now? Oh, he gonna get us. So for Wavelength Wednesday, since I'm cat sitting. Well, I'm not even really cat sitting. I am trying to prepare for introductions with the other kitties. So, what are you doing? You little crazy kitty. Hello, baby. I didn't really have anything prepared to discuss other than just saying hello to Willy, letting you all see him. He's a cutie. He actually reminds me a lot of Pumpkin. And if you all remember my story about Pumpkin, we had him, I believe it was 19 years. He passed away in 2016. And you know how, I don't know, I guess, I know my husband and I, woo, boy, he's quick. He's a climber. He's a climbing fool. My husband, his favorite of our cats was Blinky, and mine was Pumpkin. So they moved with us from Tennessee, and and we've really been missing them something terrible. But it's funny because when my husband saw Willy here, whose name was actually Pedro, at the Humane Society, he thought that he looked like Blinky as a kitten. Well, I mean, we didn't really have Blinky as a kitten. Blinky was already, oh, every bit of a year old, I would say, by that point. But when I saw him, as soon as we got him out of the box here at the house, because I didn't get a chance to go to the Humane Society with my husband, they gave him a little box to put him in to bring him home. And as soon as we opened the box, I instantly saw Pumpkin, because he just looks like Pumpkin did as a little kitten. He's going to be, I think, a fluffy cat the way that Pumpkin was. And he's got his markings. He's got more orange on him than white. And Blinky had more white than orange. So, you know, I'm not really sure what to expect. But, hello, dear sweetie. I think he's going to be a fur ball, I believe, which is what Pumpkin was. Pumpkin was mixed with a Maine Coon cat. He was an orange tabby, but I believe he was mixed with a Maine Coon because he had those big, huge paws that had little tufts of hair sticking out. And he had the big poofy tail and the M on his forehead and all that stuff. I don't think that Willy's going to be that, but I think he is going to be a puffy cat like Pumpkin was. My husband swears up and down, though, that he looks like Blinky. So I think where we just miss both boys so bad, we are... I'm sorry about the camera work here, but he's so fast, it's hard to keep up with him. But where we miss Blinky and Pumpkin so bad, we are both picking out features and characteristics of both of our cats that we miss. You know, I guess that's just natural to do. But Willy's gonna have his own personality, I can already tell that. He's a sweetheart, though, so I'm very happy that he's with us. And we're very appreciative of everybody out here, because they did make such a point to be sure that the vet came to do the checkup on him and everything before we picked him up. And it's very nice to have. He's already been fixed. He's already been neutered. And he's had his booster shot. We've got to take him back to get another booster on the holiday, July 4th. And he's been chipped. So we've never had a cat that's had a microchip before. We're not really sure how that works. I've got to go in and update his name information now that we changed his name. Uh-oh, he's getting hypnotized. He's getting hypnotized by the stick. He might fall asleep on you guys. I may cut it off here in just a few minutes. It's looks like it's almost 24 minutes. I may cut it off at 30 minutes instead of doing an hour, since my other visitors are not wanting to say anything. They're just wanting to watch little Kitten. Yeah, he's an entertaining little fella, isn't he? So anyway, we appreciate the Humane Society and what they do. There's a ton of beautiful little babies and adults ready to be adopted there. So if you have a Humane Society in your area, which more than likely you do, please, you know, adopt. Don't shop, adopt. That's what I say, because, man, every little kitten that has ever shown up at our places, no matter what state we've lived in, they've all either had something wrong, they got beat up, they weren't being fed, they were neglected, there was something wrong, you know, physically that they needed to go to the vet for. And, you know, once they showed up at our house, you know, we fed them, we took care of them, we took them to the vet. And even Simone, as a feral cat, eventually we were able to catch her so that we could get her spayed. And, you know, it's very important to us to take care of anybody that shows up at our house. But this little guy, we actually sought him out in the hopes that he would help Simone to fill that void since Blinky's been gone, and maybe help her not to be so lonely. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But he's the first one that we've actually gone to the Humane Society or a shelter or anything for to actively seek out, because usually the strays find us. But this little guy caught my husband's eye and captured his heart, so we're gonna have a new little feller with us. So what do you guys think? What do you think about the name Willy? Do you think his eyes look like Willie Nelson? I don't know, for some reason he just looks like Willie Nelson to me. It was very hard for me to try to come up with a name, and usually that has never happened. Every time we've ever had a cat show up, instantly a name would pop into my head. So our very first cat, we named him Bundles. He was an orange and white cat back when we lived in Tennessee, and he was a barn cat. So he was actually one of the neighbors' many cats, and they never would get anybody fixed or anything. And he was always getting beat up because he was always one to make friends with the dogs and horses and everything. You'd come out to the barn and he'd be laying in the stall with the new colt that had just been born. You know, he was a very friendly cat, but other cats would come and try to... Yikes. I don't know. It's entirely possible that this has been disconnected the whole time. I don't know. It says it's live in the upper left hand corner of my screen, so I hope I've not been just talking to nothing. But I am going to get off here in 30 minutes. We're at 27 minutes right now. Hello there, Willy. Hello there. I can't think of anything else really to talk about other than thanking the Humane Society again for taking such good care of the animals that have been left in their care and trying to find them homes and everything. And we will be updating his name in the system because this is the first time any of our animals have been microchipped. So we will be doing that. Oh, he's on the move again. So wish me luck, guys, that he will work out with our girls and that everyone will make friends, or at least he will be tolerated by at least one of them and be friends with the other. I'm hoping for the best. So does the neighborhood over here, I'm sure, because they're probably tired of listening to her caterwaul at night from being lonely. I'll be back hopefully next week to a regular schedule for Wavelength Wednesday and Marketing Monday and all of that stuff. If there's anything that you want me to discuss for topics for Wavelength Wednesday, please, let me know what it is that you might like to discuss or hear about. If there's anything that you want me to film in particular for the Marketing Mondays, feel free to let me know that as well, because I'm always open to suggestions and looking for content ideas that might be of interest to you. If you want to see more of Willy, let me know. I might just keep him on my personal channel because I don't really do anything over at the channel that just has my name on it. So that might be where I put little Willy videos so that he can be entertaining over there for my family and friends. But if you do want to see him here, let me know. Alright, so I'm going to flip this back over. And, whoops, it just popped out of the... It just popped out of the little holder. Alright. So, Willy and I are going to sign off now. That's right, aren't we, Willy? Yes, we're going to sign off. I hope that you've enjoyed yourself if you were some of the people that were here that were just not saying anything. And Susan, ooh, bless you. Susan, thank you again for stopping by. I hope everyone has a great day. Have a craftacular day, y'all. Bye. Woo, let's see if we can turn this off.